How many remember Kidrobot? In the early 2000s, Kidrobot was among the leaders of a resurging trend that is collectible vinyl toys. But they were way more than just some toy company. Kidrobot had a whole streetwear wing as well. Popularized in the glory days of the genre, Kidrobot saw a huge level of success. But like many others, they fell off over the years. So what exactly happened to cause this? Well, let's find out. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and this is the rise and fall of Kidrobot. But before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button for me. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to get the YouTube algorithms to notice us and suggest us to more people, which in turn helps us to continue to grow. But with all that being said, let's jump right into it. Kidrobot was created by Paul Budnitz, who got the idea from a classic Japanese technique known as vinyl casting. And according to Paul, a few artists like Michael Liu in Hong Kong began making limited edition toys. Michael started showing up at trading conventions with handmade toys and is credited as being the founder of the urban vinyl style within the designer toy movement. Basically, Michael took G.I. Joes and other military figures, cut off and recasted the heads and the hands, and then sewed up his own clothing to make stylish hip-hop figures. He even made boxes out of hand-cut cardboard. And at the same time, a small gothic clothing store in Japan named Bounty Hunter began producing limited edition vinyl toys based on American cereal box characters to complement their own clothing line. On a business trip to Asia in 2002, Paul spotted these strange artifacts. Were they toys? Were they art? The answer was yes and yes. This gave him an idea to launch his own brand, and the name Kidrobot invoked the mood he wanted, playful and sort of twisted. He headquartered his company in a small Berkeley, California office where he shared space with his previous company, Mini Disco. He called upon his friend Tristan Eaton, with whom he'd worked on animation projects before, to help design some of the Western versions of the toys he'd seen in Asia. Launched in April of 2004 at the Hong Kong Toy Con, the Dunny was a cute and gently curved mix between a devil and a bunny. And I mean, yeah, the name is super simple, but it was catchy. Releasing shortly thereafter, the Money was a similar shape to Dunny, but was based on, yeah, take a guess. It was a monkey rather than a bunny, but Kidrobot commissioned various other artists to apply original characters to the Dunny silhouette while selling the blank Money as a DIY platform. Paul would describe Kidrobot as not so much a business as it was a small art incubator, and that's really what kept it real. Between in-house talent and hired artists, Kidrobot found its sweet spot when it came to aesthetics. Paul described the visual formula as a combination of a little cuteness and a little blackness. Kidrobot quickly went on to create unique toys outside of the Dunny and Money characters as well. Their famous mascot, a street homage to Ultraman, was brought into vinyl form too. They also teamed up with musical acts like the Gorillaz and Madlib and made a play on a Smorkin' Labbit character, which was previously produced by Bounty Hunter and Midicom. Kidrobot employed a brilliant marketing strategy. The 3-inch Dunnies were sold in blind boxes, which is cardboard boxes encased in foil wrapping, so as to prevent the buyer from knowing which Dunny in the series they were about to purchase. And to get the Dunny you wanted, you'd have to either be really lucky, meet up with fellow Kidrobot fans to trade, or keep buying blind boxes until you unwrap the one that you wanted, Willy Wonka style. And since they were only about $8 each, many fans opted to buy as many as they could. Another key to the company's success was leveraging of scarcity, because although their toys were sold in specialty shops, the Kidrobot locations were really the main draw. Shortly after the Kidrobot web store launched, The first brick and mortar location opened in San Francisco in 2002, followed by a store in Manhattan's Soho area in fall of 2003. Locations in Los Angeles, Miami, London, Vegas, and Boulder soon followed. Recognizing the buzz the company was generating, Kidrobot was quick to build a community around its brand and products. The stores hosted launch parties where fans could talk about the latest releases, trade blind boxes, and even meet many of the artists behind the toys. Popular designers dropped by to paint in-store customizations of monies, which were often raffled or auctioned off for charitable causes. Kidrobot was the place to be for locals and a destination for visitors. I remember there used to be one here in Dallas in the Mockingbird station around the corner from Center, or kind of like right down the street, and it was always a cool place to hang out. The brand even created a secondary designer toy market. Some guys got so good at creating customized Kidrobot toys featuring DIY paint jobs, additional sculpting, and things such as that they were able to sell their own work to collectors and create a whole new source of income. Some of them even got so good at it that they quit their jobs to customize full time. And now at the height of their run, in 2006, Kidrobot launched an apparel line with Swiss Beats cosign and co-designed by Paul himself. Launched during the height of the Bape era, and with Kidrobot sharing a similar Japanese aesthetic, the clothing resembled the style of that day with bright colors and all-over patterns. I always thought the graphics were really cool and they fit with my personal style at the time. And they also benefited from all of the artist collabs that they were doing. All of the company's products shared the same quirky aesthetic, straddling the line between art and commerce. And when the apparel line was introduced, customers welcomed it as just another way to display the art that they loved. Most of Kidrobot's products were made in limited editions. There were single-run productions, and once they sold out, that was it. And this helped contribute to the hype and the whole FOMO aspect. Because of the unique aesthetic vision and limited quantities, Kidrobot products commanded premium prices. At its height, some of the apparel was selling for up to $3,000 and some of the toys for up to $20,000. For years, it was hit after hit for Kidrobot, and it kind of seemed too good to be true. A new form of art was being born right before our eyes. Everyone from pro designers to would-be artists could all eat off of it. But after nearly 10 years of the designer toys and streetwear scene being at the top of the game, things began to taper off in 2013. The company started to rely more heavily on licensed products like Marvel and DC properties, South Park, or Family Guy. These items were, purposely or not, positioned as impulse buys rather than collectibles. It just kind of seemed like stuff rather than art. They were purchased by fans of the licensed properties and some Kidrobot fans, but they also caused many collectors to completely write the brand off. The ride was coming to an end. By 2006, Wild Brand Entertainment, best known for creating Yo Gabba Gabba, a Nick Jr. show, had purchased a stake in Kidrobot. And by 2012, Paul had officially left the company, with Wild Brand fully purchasing the brand and planning to make TV and film projects out of the characters. But to OG fans, the new move felt like a favorite band had sold out. Fans wondered if the end product would suffer due to the new corporate overlords. It didn't help that Kidrobot's products were beginning to lack the qualities that made them seem so interesting and special in the old days. And this will reflect in the sales. As soon as the new owners recognized the brand was in trouble, they went into reactive panic mode. Whereas Kidrobot had previously axed items that didn't turn out as well as they hoped, the company now began pushing out whatever was closest to completion. If the toys weren't selling, they would focus more on clothing, taking a shrewd corporate approach. Retail workers were given hourly quotas, undermining the once relaxed work atmosphere. The suits had no idea what they were doing. Kidrobot was built on artistic original work, and these stiffs didn't have the soul to understand that. So they relied on licensing, which further diluted the brand. In the end, all of the issues were insurmountable. By 2014, all Kidrobot stores, save for the independently operated Vegas and San Francisco locations, closed their doors for good. Later that year, an entry was posted on the brand's official blog assuring that despite the stores closing, the brand was still expected to expand into even more designs and fashion products. But this really just came off as being about as reassuring as a guy insisting that you ignore all the smoke as fire consumed the whole house. Despite all the troubles though, Kidrobot the brand just would not die. They were sold off yet again to another corporate, NECA. But at least they had the good sense to hire good talent. Frank Kozik, who is considered the granddad of art toys, was brought on as creative director. Kozik has done his best, and to be fair, under his tutelage, Kidrobot is bringing back the Dunny and Money customizations. They still lean really heavy into established titles because they're still owned by suits, but at least the suits will get out of the way from time to time. At the end of the day, Kidrobot suffered the same fate of many other brands that we've covered. They got bought out and they fell off. But at least they've managed to find themselves in the hands of responsible owners. Or hopefully. But ultimately, only time will tell. What do you think? Were you a fan of Kidrobot back in the day? Do you hope that they can make a comeback? Hit us up in the comment section and let us know. Also, if you made it this far, then that obviously means you liked the video, and we hope that you hit the like button for us. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to get the YouTube algorithms to notice us and to help us continue to grow. And if you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode, then hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell. This way you will be reminded whenever a new video drops. With that being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, peace.